Hello, this is Winston Cunningham. It is January the 20th, 2025. And I'm thinking today about adjusting. You know, we're all designed to be adjusters. This is our basic function. If it's cold, we put on a coat. If we're dirty, we take a shower. There's a lot of ifs. But we are constantly adjusting to a variety of things, such as today we're adjusting to seeing what kind of changes the new majority is, or the present majority is approaching. And adjusting ourselves to that, whether we like it or not. And so let me shift to the more personal side, and if that's not personal enough, I've got a whole list of adjusting that I need to do. And sometimes adjusting is hard for me, because I can be just as satisfied leaving things the way they are. But in order for me to accomplish the things I want to accomplish and to be of some use to the other parts of humanity, then there are things I want to do. But I'm a little slow sometimes. And I get too easily into a comfort zone. And I could stay there till the cows come home. But that's not very satisfying, and that lack of satisfaction kind of catches up in many ways. So there are some, and sometimes as a second thought about adjusting, is that what got me started talking about this is that, or thinking about it in this way. I've always thought about adjusting and being adjusters, and we're either adjusting or we're maladjusted, and they got many terms for it, especially the doctors. Because when we fail to adjust, then an adjustment happens within us without our consent or without our awareness. Consent, when we ignore things, we have already given consent to whatever. So I'm dealing with a situation at the YMCA that, and I know I need to be prepared for just about anything. But there's a situation to where it's one of those things that I can't change, so I need to have the serenity to change or to accept the things that I cannot change, such as the result of the election that's taking place today. And I can't do anything about a fellow that just the sight of me does something strange to him, and he kind of loses it and lets everybody that's within earshot know. And I can take some educated guesses, but I have no idea what's going on with him. We got some idea. But his pain that he's experiencing has absolutely nothing to do with me. I know that, and maybe he don't. And maybe the people that he's influencing don't know. So I find myself in a position to need to adjust to being at the Y when he's there. I'm okay with it. He's not. So I am capable of making this adjustment, and I intend to, and I have so far. And I still send healing energy to this guy. That's what I can do. But I'm making adjustments, and I'm sitting in a travel trailer which is where I live, and I've been here for 16 years. And the place where I rent a lot to put the trailer, which I've done for 16 years, they don't want anything over 20 years old. And so, and I've got this is my second trailer since I've been here because of that. And I've got one more year, maybe a little bit more to go before this one I'm in is over 20 years old, and so I've got to do something else. But I think I'm on the tail end of living in a trailer, I hope. It's okay. It's like a small apartment on wheels, and I live in it. I don't travel in it. Don't even have something to pull it with. So I never intended to do any traveling. And I'm sorry, that was an interruption. A fellow that used to do work on my trailer pointed out, he said, you got to realize these things were never intended to be lived in. And here I am living in it. It's a temporary home. And so this is a big adjustment that I've got to make. I've got to get myself back into some other situation, and I've got some time to figure that out. But this is a major thing that I've put on my list of adjustments for the next little while. And there's some other things I need to adjust to as well. That's one of the major ones. But I have to get myself into a correct frame of mind to make adjustments, and anyone does. But a correct frame of mind to make adjustment is not a natural state of mind for me. Because as I said earlier, I can just let things be the way they are for as long as it wants to, and not be bothered by it. So I really have to work at it to be motivated, put it that way. So there's the thing I mentioned about the fellow at the Y. That's one adjustment I've got to make, and and of course doing these kind of talks, and since I've overcome religion, risen above religion, there's I have to be cautious. Well, don't have to be, but since I'm going to the YCA every day, and it is the Young Men's Christian Association, I don't do anything in official sense there. I wouldn't even sit in on the Tai Chi class and when the leader was gone, because I know I like speaking truth as I see it, so I don't like curtailing what I have to say. And that's why this platform is working for me, is because now once I finish this and set it in, I punch the the option that says never delete it. So from the time I initiate this, or the time I say it, it goes in where it goes, and it stays there for anyone, anywhere to use. Anyone that needs to hear what I'm saying. And the advertisement don't go pointing at a particular person. The soul actually guides a person to hear what I'm saying, if that's what that particular person needs now. That's the way it happens. So, and I'm looking to expand myself maybe through YouTube. And there's some adjustments that will come with that. And I'm usually surprised, especially using a cell phone. Every time something pops up, oh, that looks interesting, and punch on it, and they're lying. That's the only word I got for it. They want you to listen for a while to something they give you no answer for. But they want money. It's like religion, like George Carlin says. I've got a list of things that I want to adjust, and I feel myself getting motivated to make these adjustments. And for a while, like this fellow at the YMCA, is that I've adjusted past the point to where I recognize it's his problem. It's got nothing to do with me. But actually, as I said in a previous talk, that if it comes into my world, it has something to do with me. It just has to do with the law of attraction. Now, it doesn't matter if I remember having done the thing or the things that I need sorely to learn about now that this would relate to. Even if I don't remember that, it's still a part of my experience, and it could go back to previous lifetimes. I can remember when in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been living near this area for since 1984. And I can remember driving along Murfreesboro Road, and I see this sign across the street that says Una Antioch Pike. And the word Una stood out to me and just reached out and grabbed me. And, of course, I didn't have any clue why. But it was several years later when I was involved with the School of Metaphysics, and I got one of the past left readings I got. The name was, my name back then was Una Esther Prodke. It was in Poland. And so that's why that Una stood out to me, and I don't know why. And these things will occur to people occasionally. People around the School of Metaphysics would call these teasers, because it gives you just enough of a glimpse of who you really are or what you can do. You may be afraid of, but it gives you a glimpse, and it's a impetus to get you busy looking in here, and that's what it's for. It's not some of these just strange things that happen for no reason, because as I see it, nothing is strange. It's all strange. It's all strange. But as as it comes from the Bible, and it was clearly stated, and I can't remember who said it exactly or where to find it in the Bible. But what it said is that nothing is hidden that will not be revealed. And as I see it, I am capable, anyone is capable of understanding anything. That doesn't mean it's going to come like this. Some of it will. But nothing is hidden that will not be revealed. So, and the Bible said many other things too. I don't want to get sidetracked here. But I'm talking about our ability to make adjustments, and that's on my mind because I'm in the middle of needing to make some adjustments that I haven't been really crazy about making. But see, the adjusting happens if we don't make adjustments, then it's like pain. It's a kind of pain. And as I pointed out in the pain in childbirth, the starting a new idea, this represents this not wanting to make adjustments or being a little slow about making adjustments. That's a sort of pain. And if I don't pay attention to it, the pain increases. And if I don't pay attention to it, the pain lingers. So there's no rocket science where pain is concerned. And like this fellow at the YMCA, he doesn't know that I didn't cause his pain. Now, the reason he thinks I did, I don't know. I'd like to be able to talk with him, counsel with him, see if I could help. But I suspect that's not going to happen. But he surprised me before. He went through a period of time where he'd holler, rant, and rave every time he saw me. Thought I was out to get him. And so, but then, just like that, one day he started being friendly. Okay, well, and then it had been months since I'd seen the guy. And here I'm just sitting having a cup of tea in the tea area at the YMCA. And he walks in and I just waved at him. And he said, I don't want, said, don't talk to me, not one word. But he said it loud enough, they heard it at the front desk, which is, he'd go walk past a few minutes ago. And so, the short story is that I am obviously more capable of making an adjustment here than he is. So, and I remember the words of Jesus, forgive them for they know not what they do. And he may have been talking in some other context, but if you'll read the words of Jesus real careful, or whatever he said will apply to just about everything. Not just him hanging up on the cross, which actually means the horizontal time is the physical part that we're living. That's the horizontal bar, and the vertical bar is our understanding stacked on each other, on top of each other. That's what that cross means. And so, if you look at it in language of mind, different, you'll get something a little bit more in depth, rather than just on the surface of you should and you should not. That just doesn't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere with it. There's nothing there. That's why you can't go anywhere with it. So I encourage people to look for, when I get a chance, and that's what I'm doing now, because a part of what I'm doing here is putting this in this platform where anybody can see it, so that I don't bend somebody's ear in the sauna because I got something to say. And so this helps me adjust to those situations. But anyway, I'm in the process of making adjustments, and so I'm just verbalizing kind of what I want to do. And I made a new list of 10 most wanted lists very recently. And there's one major thing that I started back in 1994 and didn't even put on the list yet. It's writing a book. But I'm writing that book as we speak because I'm gaining the experience that I will describe, the experience will kind of round out my understanding of what I want to talk about. It's very simple, and I'll just go ahead and tell you the name of it is A Matter of Choice, The Common Cold. And of course, a matter of choice, not only the common cold, but covers everything else too. Everything is a matter of choice. And so I want to talk about that. And I've got a lot to say about that. You know, I've written maybe 100 pages so far, but that's not, I didn't have it very well organized. And I'm a little bit stubborn. I don't want somebody else organizing it for me. There's, at one point, my teacher at the School of Metaphysics, Nancy Hayek, she was at the college and was pretty close to Jerry Rothermel. And after he taught some people to the doctorate level, some of the people thought they could do a better job of stating the lessons and make it a little bit more clear. And so we had two sets of lessons at one point. And at one point, and she was laughing about this, he said, we're going back to the original lesson because these ladies have been messing with the pictures. And the picture is everything. So that was just kind of funny. Messing with my pictures. Rewording it. Now, and which brings me to another thing, and I experience this a lot, because if somebody doesn't understand what I'm saying, maybe they're not looking at the picture, they're looking at the words only, like they do in religion. Anyway, I hope I've given you something to think about. I'm thinking about it. We're all designed to be adjusters, and I am reluctantly adjusting. I'm Winston Cunningham. Thank you.